Dave Palumbo here with Muscle Serpents University. We're here at the Tampa Repticon show, and we're going to go inside. I'm here with my son Logan, and Logan, we're going to go see some snakes. Yeah, and we're going to see some blue-tongued skinks. You like those, right? Show me the blue-tongued skink. That's right. What do the blue tongues do? They stick the tongue out, right? Look in the camera. Watch your mama. Show mama. What do the blue tongues do? That's right. Logan knows what the blue tongues do. We're going to see some turtles, tortoises. Our good friend Bob King is here. We're going to stop by his booth and see maybe some big reticulated pythons. You like the big pythons? You do? Okay. Yeah, you do. That's a big snake over there, right, Log? That's a big cobra, but it's a fake one. We're going to go see. Bob's got a big, real snake. And we like Bob, right? And we're going to see a lot of our other friends in here, hopefully. Vinci Boas, I see, is here. My good friend Rich over there. So stay tuned. We're going to go inside and see what today's theme is. Different stuff. I want to see something very peculiar I haven't seen in a long time. Stay tuned. Let's go inside. Over here at Vinci Boas with my friend Rich Delbono, who's always got some great stuff to show us. And Rich, the hottest thing out on the market, in the boa market at least, seems to be the albino blood stuff.
Yep.
This is the sharp albino with the blood, also known as the fire opal. This is, I'm almost jealous. It's an exquisite representation of the morph.
Yeah, this is a Hypo albino sharp blood is what this is. She is a possible super, which I think she is a super that we talked about because of the lack of the pattern and the dark coloration of the red and the orange.
I've never seen yet. It's so orange. Usually they're much redder, and you would think that the super hypo would certainly lighten that up a little bit.
Right. Yeah, I think she's a super. Time will tell. We'll see what happens with her, and you know the future's always bright with the albino blood stuff because it only gets better.
Now, in an albino, like a sun glow albino, you could always tell the super, can't you, by less pattern?
Normally you can, but the only way to tell a true super is to breed it. And you breed a super to a normal, all the babies are hypo, and that's how you can tell from that point on. But you can only speculate with, a lot of people say they can tell a super by looking at it. Some can, some can't.
Now, when I produced my Paradigm Bloods this year, you know, you kind of were the expert I went to because you kind of have a lot of experience. You're going to be breeding some this year, so you kind of have a jump on everyone with that project. Right. It's kind of cool because when you breed the Paradigm Blood, you kind of can get this and you can get the Paradigm Blood, which kind of gives you a lot more versatility.
You can get both with the sharp gene, with the Paradigm gene, absolutely. Yes, right now I have a gravid female Paradigm Blood, and I bred her to a Paradigm Het Blood. So we're going to see what that result, hopefully the result's going to be as good or better than yours.
Now, you and I were fantasizing before about what the ultimate boa combination would be. Tell me what you'd like to ultimately do.
Sharp, Sunglow, Blood, IMG. I think that's going to be the king of kings when it comes to boas.
All right, so we're going to produce this snake with IMG in there, which is the increasing melanistic gene, which obviously won't work in terms of turning the snake black because the albino removes that. What will the snake look like if you had to speculate?
Like this times 10. That's all I can really think of.
It would enhance the reds and oranges, right?
I think it'll be a completely patternless animal as an adult with solid red eyes.
That would be wacky.
But it'll produce this, IMGs, albinos, hypos. It'll produce everything.
How close are we to getting that? Or how close are you, I should say, to getting it? Not me, but you.
Maybe a year and a half.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good.
That's why I got to stay friends with this guy. So I get a couple of babies from him. Now, what have you noticed in terms of when you breed? Sometimes people say it's challenging to breed, like, you know, like double recessive type snakes. Do they seem to be more challenging in terms of feeding, breeding, and that kind of stuff?
Raising them, I think, is more the question of challenging. Breeding them, hets to hets are a lot better breeding than visuals to
Why do you think that is?
Weak genetics.
So they're hardier.
I think anytime you compound genetics, it makes them weaker. That's my opinion.
You know, you're not the first person that said that to me. Mike Weitzman has said that to me too. He always says, try to breed hets instead of visuals. They seem to do better, and you get better outcomes.
They do, and the animals are stronger. They grow better. They breed better. It just seems to be that anytime you thin a gene out to its point, there's nowhere else for it to go.
Interesting. Okay, let's put this out. Another thing I always said when I walked in here today, I was going to find something unique that not a lot of people have. And when we talked last time, you were showing me some adult ring pythons that you had gotten into. Yep. And I said, oh, that's an interesting project. I know you hadn't been involved in it. Well, you produced how many clutches?
We had 5 clutches this year.
That's insane. Now, ring python babies might be the coolest looking snakes of all time. If no one knew anything about snakes and looked at these, they'd be like, well, those look like the boas almost.
This is what everybody says to me. Man, if they only stayed that color. I hear that 1,000 times. I get it.
They stay pretty cool, though, and they're bigger. You showed me some big ones. I like the way they look.
The greens and the blacks and the yellows, yeah, they're really, really cool. But if they stayed the Halloween black and orange, it would be a much easier, sellable animal. But as they turn, they do get darker.
You should have sold these as the Halloween snake here. I bet you a lot of kids would have bought them. How is this a beginner snake?
No, it's a challenging animal. They are flighty. And I'm going to show you, they do bite, and they're musky too. They like
musk. Okay.
Yeah, which I don't recommend that as a beginner animal. But you handle these animals, you work with them, yeah, they're going to tame down quick.
Now, that's my question. As adults, will they still musk?
Yes.
They will?
Yes, but the slower you handle them, the more time you give them, the better they are.
Right.
You try to manhandle a ring, it's going to musk on you and bite you.
Oh, they will bite too.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see one of these little ones. I'm always in the mood to get bitten, at one of these expos. So you got to really hold on to them, in other words. Now let's hold them under the light so we get to see that. I mean, that orange is, like you said, pumpkin orange. I did a video the other day about which of my snakes in my collection was the closest to looking like a pumpkin. It was a Halloween video, and if I had one of these, this would be hands down the winner.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, these are definitely pumpkin orange and black.
And now, what does something like this eat?
Newborn mice is what we have to feed them, but once again, they are challenging when it comes to eating because sometimes you have to do different things to get them to eat. But we've got all these eating solid right now.
Now, once they start getting a little bigger, will they stick to the typical python feeding type of schedule?
Yeah, solid feeders every week, no problem. But it's getting them from the baby stage to that juvenile stage to get them to eat right.
Now, another thing that's interesting is these things have to be pretty old before they breed, correct?
Yeah, much older. Yeah, they're not like a normal python or ball python. They have to be 4 to 6 years old before they breed.
That's crazy. So if I bought a pair of these, I'm looking 5 years down the road. Probably.
Yep.
So it's a long term.
It's a commitment.
Have these been selling very well?
Yeah, we're doing well with these.
Because I heard years ago they used to have a lot of these around and no one really wanted them, and everyone stopped breeding them, and now everyone can't find them, and so they seem to be in more demand.
If you put the time into them, they're rewarding. Not many people breed them because they are challenging to breed, but that's what we do. I mean, we're breeders. We want that challenge.
What did you find worked best to get these things to go in terms of the adults, in terms of breeding?
Leave them alone.
Really? Just put them together and leave them?
Leave them alone.
Do you have to cool them? Anything crazy?
No, just leave them alone. The more traffic they have, the less they breed. If you leave them alone, they breed.
So let's say last year when you were putting them together, what would it be, around this time of year?
Yep.
And when did they actually get eggs?
Oh, man. I think we got our eggs around, I don't know. I think it was March and April.
Okay, so that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
And you said you had 100%. You said you had 100%
hatch rate with the females that laid eggs.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, who gets that with anything?
Nobody.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing some great stuff over there. I see your carpet python stuff. Yeah. Anything interesting you're going to be producing this year? You think?
We're kind of slowing down on the carpets, focusing on the rings and the boas a little bit more. Okay. This is just a lot of the stuff that we have. A lot of hets, granite hets, caramel hets. We have some albinos, but I'm into this stuff more than I am this stuff.
Okay, so the boas and the rings are really interesting.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can do with rings? Are there any? I see you have this kind of guy looks like a little bit less pattern than the other ones.
We found out that we do have some patternless males that are producing patternless clutches, so we're going to kind of focus on that and work on it.
Do you think you could ever produce a completely orange one?
Yeah,
without the black?
Yeah, we will.
You do? Is that the goal?
Figure it out. Yeah.
That would be wacky, huh?
Yep.
Or even maybe a couple of black dots.
Selective breeding. That's what it is.
That's awesome. You're doing some great stuff always, and I appreciate. Rich is the kind of guy. If you reach out to him on Facebook, he will always get back to you. He answers questions.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate you giving a lot back to the Reptile Society.
Anytime.